Hi, I'm Mark Toole with 8020service.com. Today's customer service video question of the day comes from Quora, and the question is, does good customer service depend on naturally kind and helpful employees or the company's training them? There's only one answer here when I came across this, and the guy just says both. You want nice people and you should train them well. Cool. But I have a little bit different thing to say on that. I'm gonna give my opinion on this and talk a little more about how this stuff can work for you and your business. Does good customer service depend on naturally kind and helpful employees or on the company's training them? Well, I think that this guy said both. I'm going to kind of say neither. I'm going to say that this idea that you have to go out and find these special, one-off, naturally kind and helpful employees is kind of a myth. Now, true, you don't want to go hire some big fat lazy slacker that you found at McDonald's chugging Mountain Dew and playing video games, who doesn't want to do anything, complains all the time and is lazy and has no energy. That guy's not going to be good for your business. But you don't also, I'm going to say you don't need to find some special, magical, wondrous, grinning, happy, joy-filled person who can't wait to answer customer service emails all day long. That's also a bit of a myth. Same time, I'm going to say you can't just simply take, and I guess I kind of already hinted at this, you can't just take anyone. You can't take that fat Mountain Dew video game slob from McDonald's who hates life and doesn't want to do anything and train him in the arts of customer service and have him do a good job. If you get shitty people, they will not do a good job. The problem with that, of course, is that the conventional customer service approach essentially is based entirely on that. Finding shitty people and trying to force them through training and scripts and programming and procedures, manuals, and all this other NPC shit, train them into behaving as if they were intelligent, kind, caring, helpful customer service agents, when in reality the job tells them to turn off their brain, sit there, read the script, do as they're told, watch the clock, someone's timing your piss break, and you just count down the minutes until you're allowed to go home. So, with that, yes, they'll have training there. Make sure you say, "Hello, Mr. Customer's last name. Don't call him by his first name. That's mean." But some people want to be called by their first name, so then you should. And also, these things that people try to do, and excuse the dog barking noise here. I got the windows open. It's super nice out here today in Colorado in February. But these training procedures that these people implement actually is gonna make this stuff worse, because they essentially train and monitor and program and script out the humanity. They script out the helpfulness. They micromanage out all the things that make someone a helpful customer service agent. What I mean by that is they have these policies, these procedures. They have a team of nerds that nitpicks over every word in every email or call and says, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have done this. You did this thing and that helped the customer, but that wasn't in the procedure, so don't do that again or you'll be in trouble." And it actually incentivizes not being helpful. It incentivizes not being kind or friendly or whatever, naturally human, anything. It incentivizes sticking to the script, sticking to the procedures, sticking to the rules, not breaking a rule, not bending a rule, not saying anything friendly or nice off the script because you might get punished. It actually takes people, and I've worked in these jobs years ago, where somebody calls or emails and they ask about a thing, say, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. I can't figure out a way to do it on the website." I know how to do it, but I'm working in that job. I'm not allowed to do it. If I go outside of the programming and fix that thing for that customer, tell him a way around the thing that's blocking him, I could be punished. I could get in trouble. So a customer who could be helped, customer who could get a good resolution, instead gets a dummy reading a script. "I will be happy to help you with your problem today, Mr. Customer's last name, and I will verify the various information. Have you tried turning your computer on and off again?" Nobody needs to hear that shit. And these conventional operations essentially build NPCs, customer service NPCs, following a program. not thinking. And you call it training, you can call it whatever you want, but whether you put a naturally helpful and kind person into that role or a naturally lazy person, it's not going to make too much of a difference unless they break the rules and do something kind and helpful, in which case they could be punished, or unless they break the rules and do something even lazier and shittier than usual, in which case they could be punished. It essentially standardizes everything, everybody in that role, to one gray, vanilla, neutral, beige individual, if you want to call it that. One, they're all running the same program. They're all reading the same script. They're all making their decisions the same way, as in they're not making decisions. The programming, the procedures manual is making the decisions. And so it doesn't matter then if you get the really nice, friendly, helpful person or the guy who just hates his life and doesn't want to be there and needs to sit there clicking buttons to make his $12 an hour. It's not going to make very much difference in those conventional roles. Now, talked enough about that, about the problem, about how all these businesses are doing it wrong. What is the alternative? What do I do? What do I help businesses with? What have I done with the businesses that I've run customer service for in the past, businesses I'm running customer service for now? What's my approach? My approach is simple. To, yes, hire naturally kind and helpful employees, and yes, train, if you want to use that word, train them in the information that they need, how to access the systems, what the products are, what the services are, what the prices are, how to do the different things, the basics of the job that anybody can pick up in a couple of days because they're super simple. Do that, and then say, you guys know what you're doing, do it. Help these people. I've written a few email templates you can use if you want for some of these common situations. You see anything weird, let me know, we'll get it fixed. Go do what we're paying you to do. And with that, it decentralizes the customer service process. I don't sit around micromanaging. I don't say, why'd you say that word instead of this other word? That's silly. And most of the people I work with in these roles are people working remotely in the Philippines, where English is a national language, so they speak pretty good English, and most of it's written anyways, but still, you can sometimes tell from some of the word choices and things like that it's somebody in another country, and that's fine. I'm not trying to pretend anything. I'm not trying to tell people to say things differently or whatever. Customers don't care either, because guess what? The people who work for me understand the business. They understand the product. When a customer has a problem or an issue or a question, and they ask us about it, and they get one of these people I have in the Philippines, they will understand what the customer is talking about. They'll know what the customer wants to do, what they're trying to do, and why it isn't working, or something like, or maybe not why it's not working, but they'll understand the disconnect between there, and they'll try things and do things to fix that, to get it working on their own. They don't need a procedures manual. They don't need to come ask me for permission. They don't need to do any of these things. They have a job to do, and they are trusted to be intelligent professionals and do that job. And that right there is the opposite of the conventional NPC approach. The conventional approach of, we're going to put you through weeks of training on exactly what to say in every situation, exactly what to do, and where to find all these things in the procedures book so you don't have to think or make a decision. No, I want them to think. I want them to make a decision. Why? Well, because A, I don't want to have to make all the decisions. B, because it's better for the customer. If you deal with a business with customer service, whether it's phone, email, chat, whatever, you know very, very, very quickly when you're dealing with an NPC, with a script-reading human robot. Thank you very much. I would like to help you with the thing, and I understand your dissatisfaction, sir. You know that's not a thinking, intelligent person. If you get that, or if you're talking to me right now and I'm saying, hey, what's going on? Can I help you with this? There's a difference. You can tell the difference. And people, depending what business it is, depending what customer it is, some people simply assume they're going to get the NPC bullshit run around, and they're used to it and they expect it. And if that NPC, after hours or however long of trying all the things in the procedures manual, can't solve the problem, and they start repeating themselves and stuttering and saying nonsensical things that don't make any sense, or maybe if they're smart, they realize they can't handle it and send it to someone who's allowed to think. If not, the customer gets mad and screams and asks for a boss. Eventually, they get someone with a higher authority to think, who they then can tell that's what they're dealing with. Sorry, stumbled over my words a little bit there. They can tell that's what they're dealing with when they get that person. Now, in many cases, this manager, as they call it, is no smarter or more capable or even allowed to do any more things than the NPC, but he's got a little bit more freedom not to read from the script, so he at least gives the impression that he's an intelligent thinking person. I take this many steps further, and instead of simply giving the impression of a thinking intelligent person, I just have them talk to a thinking intelligent person. That's my approach. Then, again, you don't need to seek out some especially gifted, naturally kind and helpful employee. You find a normally kind and helpful person, which is most people, unless you're an asshole of some kind. Don't hire assholes. And you put them in an environment where you trust them to do a job. You recognize their skill and ability in a thing and say, do this thing, do the thing in the way that you think it's best. If you have any problems or questions or anything, yeah, come here. I'll help you with them. We'll check up on things from time to time to make sure everything's working. But it's a much more intellectually rewarding job environment for the customer service reps themselves, which naturally results in them being more helpful, more kind, and a better experience for the customer, which of course leads to more money for the business. Now, training, like I said, for this only really comes down to information, understanding the products, understanding the service, understanding what we can and cannot do with the different systems, that sort of thing. So, video's getting a little long. I'll wrap it up here, but that is my answer to this question. Does good service depend on naturally kind and helpful employees or the company's training them? Really neither. And if you go too far with training and other such control mechanisms, you might actually make things a lot worse. So, as always, if you thought this was interesting, useful, valuable, upvote this, hit thumbs up if you're on YouTube, follow, subscribe. Like I said, I post these videos on Quora and YouTube now. If you're watching on Quora, I'll link up the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, that's fine. I also post these on Quora. I also write regularly about business and customer service topics, both on Quora and on my website, 8020service.com. And again, I do one of these videos every weekday. So I'll wrap this up here. If you thought this was, like I already said that. Wrapping this up here, I'll be back tomorrow with another video.